the heart of Neverland, where dreams take flight, darkness brews once more. Over the infamous Skull Rock, a swirling dark cloud takes shape. And high atop the rock, Captain Hook stands triumphantly holding aloft a glowing artifact that gives off an eerie light. Hook's pirates cheer wildly, their voices echoing through the island. No more games. The island is ours. They chant, brandishing their cutlasses and pistols. Meanwhile, back at the Lost Boys' hideout, Peter Pan looks out towards Skull Rock, worry creasing his forehead. He turns to the Lost Boys, who are whispering amongst themselves, fear evident in their eyes. Tide him, Tinker Bell flutters anxiously, her magic unable to pierce the gloom emanating from the artifact on Skull Rock. Hook's up to something big, Peter says firmly, more to himself than the others. We can't do this alone. As if understanding the gravity of the situation, the Lost Boys nod their heads in agreement. Suddenly, Peter's eyes catch the slight shimmer of a magical charm hidden beneath his shirt. Reaching out, he touches it, and it glows, sending out a signal that cuts through the heavy air. A moment later, a shimmering portal opens above them, and from it steps none other than Tiger Lily, the fierce and noble chieftain of the Pickaninny tribe. Eyes blaze with determination as she surveys the anxious faces before her. I heard your call, Peter, she says, her voice strong and clear. What is it that we must do? At her side, a small band of Pickaninny warriors stand ready for action, their spears and bows at the ready. Before Peter can respond, another portal opens, this time revealing a familiar silhouette. With a graceful landing, Wendy Darling steps out, now a young woman, no longer the young girl who had visited Neverland so many years ago. In her hands, she holds a bow and a quiver of arrows, her face resolute and calm. Behind her, her brothers, John and Michael, emerge, looking every bit the seasoned adventurers that they are. Their eyes shine with courage as they, too, prepare to face whatever danger may lie ahead. Together, this reunited family stands as a beacon of hope in the gathering gloom. And then, as if summoned by Wendy's presence, the twins materialize from another shimmer in the air. They are older now, taller, their youthful faces replaced by mischievous grins. But it's what they are carrying that truly catches the eye. From net launchers to mini catapults, these two have brought an arsenal of inventive contraptions that are sure to turn the tide of battle. Curly is there too, though he seems to have taken fashion tips from Hook, wearing nothing but pots and pans for armor. Despite the slightly comedic entrance, his enthusiasm and loyalty are as clear as day. Finally, Tinker Bell, supercharging herself with a shower of pixie dust, flutters into view. The sheer determination on her tiny face banishes any lingering fear from the group. Peter, seeing the faces around him, feels a surge of inspiration. Neverland is our home, he cries, raising his voice to be heard above the din of the approaching pirates. It's where our dreams come true, and those dreams are worth fighting for. Dreams worth having are always worth fighting for. His gaze sweeps over his assembled companions. Together, we are stronger. Together, we fight for our home, for our dreams, for Neverland itself. Together, we are the Avengers of Neverland. A cheer goes up, and the assembled heroes strike a heroic pose, ready to face whatever comes next. But it's not a moment too soon, because, as if summoned by Peter's declaration, Hook and his pirates charge forth, swords and pistols raised. Chaos erupts as the two sides clash. Pirates fall, only to vanish in clouds of purple smoke, reappearing far from the battle. Peter finds himself locked in a thrilling mid-air sword fight with Hook, who is using the power of the eternal compass to teleport around the battlefield, confounding Peter's attacks. On the ground, Tiger Lily uses her martial arts skills to take down multiple pirates at once. Her movements swift and graceful, like a jungle cat. Wendy, taking aim, shoots down the enemy flags, causing confusion and panic in the pirate ranks. Suddenly, Tinkerbell zips into the fray, blasting the pirates with concentrated beams of pixie dust. The twins put their inventions to good use, firing nets and catapults at the pirates, entangling them or sending them flying. Even Curly manages to land a few solid hits with his pan lids. But despite their best efforts, the Avengers are starting to get overwhelmed. His face, twisted with a cruel smile, raises the eternal compass high. "You're too late, Pan," he cackles. "The island is mine." Suddenly, the compass glows brightly, and from the depths of the sea emerges a gigantic shadow kraken, its tentacles smashing through the deck and sending the ships crashing. This is no ordinary beast. Skin is black as ink, and an unnatural purple mist pours from its gaping mouth. The sight of the kraken sends shivers down the spines of even the bravest Avengers. Peter watches in horror as the kraken lunges forward, its tentacles wrapping around Wendy and the boys, lifting them off their feet. "Don't worry, Peter," Wendy shouts over the wind. "I got this." With a wink, she takes an arrow notched and fired. It strikes the compass clutched in the kraken's tentacle. An explosion of magic sends the kraken reeling, giving the Avengers a much-needed moment of reprieve. "We have to do something," Peter says urgently, his voice tight with worry. "But what?" Before anyone can come up with a plan, the kraken strikes again, smashing one of the ships and sending the twins tumbling into the water. Realizing they need a new strategy, Peter turns to his team, his jaw set with determination. "We can't stop it alone," he says grimly, gesturing to the monstrous kraken. "We need to work together." And with that, the true test of their teamwork begins. Tinkerbell, in a flash of inspiration, flies to the injured twins and with a sprinkle of pixie dust, imbues their gadgets with magical enhancements. Their catapults now launch nets laced with pixie dust, binding the tentacles together. Wendy, ever the strategist, directs the Piccaninny warriors to focus their attacks on the base of the tentacles, distracting the Kraken and allowing Peter and Tiger Lily to slip closer to the creature. Tiger Lily, with her knowledge of the jungle, knows exactly where to strike. She leaps onto a nearby rock, her lithe form perfectly balanced, and delivers a series of powerful kicks to the base of the tentacles. Each kick is precise and well-aimed, weakening the Kraken's grip on the Lost Boys. Peter, using his agility and swordsmanship, takes advantage of the opening created by Tiger Lily. He darts between the tentacles, narrowly avoiding the snapping jaws of the beast. Finally, he reaches the spot where the tentacles converge, the heart of the Kraken's magic core. Here, the true source of the Kraken's power lies dormant, shrouded in darkness. With a deep breath, Peter prepares for his final assault. At the hideout, Wendy and the others watch anxiously as Peter confronts the Kraken alone. Suddenly, Peter cries out in pain, clutching his shoulder. Blood trickles down his arm, staining the green fabric of his tunic. Wendy gasps, her heart pounding. She knows that the fate of Neverland hangs in the balance. Just when all hope seems lost, the twins spring into action. Ever the resourceful one grabs a spare net launcher and fires a binding net at the Kraken's magic core. The net sticks to the core, momentarily disrupting the flow of magic. John, seeing his brother's lead, leaps into action. He takes an arrow from his quiver, not to shoot, but to cut the strings of his kite tail. As the kite tail comes loose, he lets out a yell. "Hold on, Peter!" The kite tail, acting as a makeshift hook, catches the breeze and pulls on the net, putting pressure on the Kraken's magic core. Realizing that they only have a few moments, Wendy and Tiger Lily join the fray. Wendy takes a deep breath, studies her aim, and fires an arrow at the Kraken's magic core. Her shot, imbued with Peter's magic, explodes on impact, sending a shockwave through the beast. Tiger Lily, leaping into the air, delivers a final devastating kick to the core. The magic within the core weakens, flickering like a dying ember. Peter, sensing their chance, throws his entire weight behind a final flourish of his sword. The blade pierces the core, severing the last of its power. The Kraken roars one last time, its body convulsing before it vanishes, taking the shadow magic with it. For a moment, there is silence. Then, as if waking from a dream, the Lost Boys slowly come back to themselves. They look around in confusion, realizing that they had been held captive by the Kraken. As the full weight of what they had just endured hits them, the boys erupt in cheers, their laughter echoing across the waves. Enraged and defeated, watches from afar. "This isn't over, Pan," he shouts, his voice cracking with fury. And with that, he disappears into the swirling mists, leaving the victorious Avengers of Neverland to bask in their triumph. As the sun sets over Neverland, casting long shadows across the beach, the Avengers gather together, celebrating their hard-won victory. Tinkerbell sprinkles a little dust into the air, creating a dazzling fireworks display that lights up the night sky. Peter, grinning from ear to ear, looks around at his companions. The Avengers of Neverland, he says, his voice filled with pride. We make a pretty good team. And as the party rages on, everyone cheers, their voices mingling with the sound of laughter and the crackle of fireworks. For tonight, at least, Neverland is safe. And as long as there's belief, its magic will never fade.